It's not only about the bragging rights, it's about representation, prowess, flexibility, and adequate information for a solution-focused initiative. We crowned a champion in the third edition of the Speak and Solve initiative, Sasi. It was a tough challenge, but an ultimate winner emerged. Taking the trophy, which has been in the custody of the Harare Institute of Technology, the Midland State University held the cup for the first time, marking themselves as the team to beat in the fourth edition of the Sasi Debate. They fought a good fight. Will they follow in the footsteps of their predecessors and be the winners this year? Do they have what it takes to take it home yet again?
Thank you. My name is Taurai Sengrai. I'm the Dean of Students at Chino University of Technology. My expectations are that the debate will be fruitful like any other past debates, that it's full of quiz and questions that debate the sexual and reproductive health of students, and along the way impacting or informing the students about their rights in terms of sexual and reproductive health, and the way how they should access the services. Literally, I expect that the participants or the whole debate will reflect on empowerment of students on sexual and reproductive health. We are grateful. Those who participate, they come up with a knowledge database of sexual and reproductive health issues that affect students, and also the solutions or the way how the students should be able to assist themselves or negotiate for service provisions. So the debates are very, very informative. They give information and they empower, and they make students assertive. Yes, indeed, a serious impact for that matter, because now the student body or population understands that sexual and reproductive health is an issue that really needs to be addressed, so that students get access to services pertaining sexual and reproductive health. They also assist students to know where to rush to when they are in a problem, and also empowering those students. Go and shine, guys. First and foremost, we want a trophy. If we don't get a trophy, that's excellent still, because the bottom line is to participate. Our message is go ye and participate. Once upon a time, somebody was last in the race, but he continued until he reached the touchline after all other members have reached. The answer was, I've been sent by my institution to participate. Oh yes, my dear students, as Dean of Students, we love you, we value your life. Where possible, please get vaccinated. If you are tested and found to be positive, please follow the quarantine rules and observe the COVID-19 regulations, sanitize, mask up, social distance. University, yes, we are the cut above the rest. We are proud of ourselves. We really value particularly the involvement of stakeholders in assisting us to raise a holistic student.
Hi guys, my name is Sitachi Sirowise. I'm from Lupane State University.
Hi guys, my name is Joachim Yoni, studying with Lupane State University.
Well, personally, I'm very comfortable. I think he's the best partner that I could have, and as far as coordination is concerned and everything, everything is perfectly fine.
Well, I mean, she's the best partner that I've ever had. So she's enthusiastic, she's positive. You know, everything she does is just on point. So I'm happy to be with her.
I would say yes, we're doing our best, and I first believe we can, but well, stuff happens at the end of the day, but yeah, we can, we do.
I mean, you know, as long as everything goes good, why don't we stand a chance?
Obviously. They're surprises, number one, because Jay is a pretty much different partner. He's one person that you haven't seen on your screens. Of course, maybe you've seen me before or whatsoever.
For my fellow contestants, I mean, I would love to say that this is a competition. Do your best and just take it personally.
They were 10. We're now down to 6. Pindura University, Great Zimbabwe, Midlands University, and GSU have been eliminated, but the debate continues. Still in contention are NUST, Lupane University, Africa University, Midlands State University, UZ, and CUT, who are proceeding to the quarterfinals. But as we all know it, there can be only one champion. Who will it be? Stay with us and find out.
We hope that you've been enjoying today as much as we have. Of course, we are on to the last pair in this round. And after this round, we lose 2 more universities. Remember, we lost 4 yesterday. And so we were down to 6 universities. Is my maths correct? See, he's just smiling at me. He's not even correcting me. We lost 4 yesterday. Yes. And we were left with 6. So my maths is correct. So say yes, your maths is correct, guys. So my maths is correct. Not as ridiculous as it seems. All right, so we lost 4 yesterday. We were down to 6. We lose another 2 today, which will leave us with 4 teams going through to the semifinals. 2 will then go, leaving us with 2 to debate it out, and ultimately 1 will take home that trophy. Who it is up to the adjudicators. We all have our favorites. Let's make sure our favorites are known. You never know, there might be a little something for them, you know, at the end of all this. Maybe. I'm not promising anything, hey. But like I said, we are down to the last 2 in this particular round before we say goodbye to another 2. We have Chinhoyi University of Technology versus Lupane. All right, guys, if you were no longer in the competition, I'm not saying you're not. I don't have inside information. I'm just asking. If you were not, who would you like to see take the trophy home?
Well, I would love to see University of Zimbabwe.
Why?
Well, they have quite the energy and preparedness. They are always ready to take anything head on. They are ready for anything. They don't complain about motions like us. So
you were complaining about motions.
No, we don't complain about anything. We are ready to take anything head on. So I felt as though looking at UZ, they are our greatest competition. Like during this tournament, that we were just looking at UZ as in this is us in the mirror. Okay, so I believe
it's not a debate. It's okay.
I believe they will take the trophy.
All right. Okay. So she says University of Zimbabwe. Who would you pick if you were no longer in the competition, but somebody had to take the trophy home?
If I'll say I'll pick anyone, I'll be biased because I never watched anyone except, well, the teams that I debated with and myself.
Right.
So I'll say whoever the adjudicators find best.
Such a diplomatic response. Boring. All right. Are you ready to take us on to take each other on now? Kind of. Okay. So your motion is, assuming that abortion on demand exists, this house would allow abortion only in cases that both parents consent. Are we clear on our motion? Yes. Okay, I'll read it out again just for good measure. Assuming that abortion on demand exists, this House would allow abortion only in the case that both parents consent. Now, we'll go through our modalities just one more time to make sure that you are clear. Affirmative opening speech will be 3 minutes. Affirmative, Chinhoyi University, you are the affirmative, confirm? And you are our opposers. All right, so Chinhoyi University, you will start. You will get 3 minutes to give us your opening speech. Lupane, you then have 1 minute to cross-examine them. Once we are done with the cross-examination, you then have 3 minutes to give us your opening speech as well. After those 3 minutes, CUT will also cross-examine you. All right. When we're done with that, we will go to rebuttal stage, and we will start, of course, with Lupane. Then we will go to CUT. Once we're done with that, we go to closing remarks. Same sequence: Lupane, then CUT. Are we clear with our sequence of events? All right. So, Chinhoyi University of Technology, are you ready to give us your opening remarks? Yes. All right. Your clock starts now.
The United Nations, in partnership with IPAS, let me quote, abortion is not a stand-alone right. I close quote. Now, this is on their article on human rights and abortion. See, there is only one way to look at things unless you invite someone else to look with their own eyes to find a different result, the different result. Hence, the cause for this debate, ladies and gentlemen. We want a culture that is inclusive of all, a culture that makes everyone comfortable and feels they have opportunity to grow and be included. For we are talking of inclusion, we're not talking about tolerance, for it is just unquestioned acceptance, ladies and gentlemen. If I may call you off the jury, my client for today is a young man currently residing at the graveyard. At the graveyard where he had a past because of trauma. Trauma after he found his wife who was 3 months pregnant without the pregnancy, probably because of abortion, but only if he had been included. Abortion on demand. We chose to define it as a model that is designed to facilitate safe abortion to someone who needs it as safely and as quickly as possible. Someone who needs it, ladies and gentlemen. Our second client is now a husband to a wife who experiences episodes of mental illness. Now, when she visited the doctor without the husband for abortion, she was currently in that episode of mental illness. But then when she was all right, she was now regretting, ladies and gentlemen, of the jury. Hence the need to include both parents. And by both parents, we are talking of parents to the unborn child. You see, when the unborn child is not yet born, we might say we do not need the father's consent. But when born, we go for maintenance if he's not part of the family. Now, ladies and gentlemen, why should we go after the maintenance if we do not need his consent when the child is unborn? Currently, if you stay with someone for a prolonged period of time, ladies and gentlemen, that person becomes your wife. And if that is the current new law, why then can you not include both parents? Let's prevent the unsafe and unresponsible abortions, whereby we just allow young ladies to just go to the hospitals to access the abortions, which they are not really in need of at the time. For in the stadium of humanity, life demands accountability. Thank you.
All right. Please, can we not have unborn children who are not born? Are you ready with your opening remarks? You're looking at me. Oh, right, sorry. This is why you were looking at me like, what is wrong with this one? All right, cross-examination, are you ready with your time? Okay, your clock starts now.
Why do you need the father in particular?
The process of fertilization is the fusion of a sperm and an egg cell, hence to form the zygote, hence the need for the father.
All right, thank you.
Who
You also mentioned, thank you. You also mentioned that you're only going to give it to someone who needs it. What do you mean by someone who needs it?
Someone who's in need.
I'm not sure I quite understand. What is need?
You want me to define need now?
Necessary so that I can understand what you were saying.
Okay, by need, when you say someone who's in need of the abortion, someone who is desperate to get it, someone who has to get it as quickly and as safely as possible.
Thank you. You also mentioned planning on making it inclusive. How will that be?
By including the father on the consent.
You also mentioned the issue of maintenance. How will you enforce that?
Time. He's rubbing his hands gleefully, like, I got them. All right. Are you ready with your opening? Your clock starts now. Please make sure the mic is facing you and on.
I agree with the issue of a standalone right. I agree with the necessity of weighing the value of perception. But then what I don't agree with is what they proposed. What I don't agree with is what their solution. Why are you saying the father is the necessary person to weigh the value of perceptions with? You see, the problem that we have, my point number one, is that when you are seeking a father to also be there for the consent, you are saying that the female body is being disenfranchised, which is not good and which is not a very a good idea. Secondly, the female loses the autonomy over their own body. Again, this is very unfair because everyone has their legal right over their own bodies, so we should let them have it. And then the other thing is that seeking abortion already suggests that there is a problem somewhere, be it date rape that cannot be unproven, or economical issues. In case of date rape, I am a victim of that, and it wasn't proven. And as a matter of fact, I do have a child, yes. And that child is not being taken care of by the father because it wasn't proven. And if you're saying that at that point I should have had the father to go and consent me to have abortion, where would I have gotten the father if he's not even here at this point in time? So it has become absurd for you to tell me that I should bring the father for the consent. And also, the other issue that is becoming a problem is the issue of proof. How then, if you are saying that your policy is for me to bring the biological father of the child so that we can consent, how then will you tell that this is exactly the biological father of the child? What measure are you going to use to ascertain that this is exactly the biological father of the child? The other issue is that you're also making this a 50-50 situation, a 50-50 scenario, which is not real. If there is a hotspot or a Wi-Fi connection or a way that we can physically share the load or the pregnancy load as a mother and as a father, then we can say, yes, it really makes too much sense. But let me bear with mind. The only person who carries the physical load is the mother. It's me. The only person who carries the stretch marks after that, it's me. I used to be a model, a very good one for that matter, but now I can't because I have a baby and have tons of stretch marks, and the father is not even there to buy all the tissue oils necessary for me to get rid of those stretch marks. And so it becomes very upset if you're telling me that the father is the only person who can weigh the options and is very much needed in everything. All right. And then I also have the problem with everything that you were saying. The person who can give better consent is the father. Based on what? Why are you saying that the father is the necessary individual? It can be done by other parties. The parties, it can be daughters, it can be other people that you other people that are well versed in that particular field. And also, we already have a problem with the policy that we have right now, which I'll touch on later on my closing remarks. So we are trying to make things easier for women as far as abortion is concerned, not trying to tighten and have a firm grip on the abortion laws. I thank you.
Time. All right, are you ready for the cross-examination?
Yes.
Okay, your clock begins now.
Ms. Speaker, ma'am, please account for the fact that the United Nations initiative that values respect for human rights also includes the right for men to have children.
The right for men to have children in the issue of abortion and giving a consent. In this instance, ma'am, we're talking about the consent of the father. The right of them to have children has got literally nothing to do with this issue whatsoever at this point.
Thank you. Please account also for the fact that abortion not being a standalone right, it also depends on other human rights, including the right to equality.
Repeat your question.
Please account for the fact that the right to abort also depends on the right to equality.
I've no idea.
Thank you. Time. Opposers, do you have your rebuttal ready? Yes. Okay. Your clock starts. Opposers. Are you the opposers? I'm sorry. It's okay. Can't wait mode indeed. Opposers, do you have your rebuttal ready? You don't seem very sure today. Yesterday you were firing. Today everything is worrying you. No, sorry. All right. Please remember to turn on your microphones. Make sure they're facing you. Opposers, your rebuttal time starts now.
Panel, what we are saying is they did not propose a policy, which then points to a problem. He's also talking of husbands, which in reality, when it comes to abortion, they are mostly no husbands. They are usually boyfriends. Right. One of the reasons why people abort is when there is no guarantee or assurance of the upkeep of the baby. This encompasses, panel, financial, emotional, mental, psychological support that are very detrimental to the growth of the baby after it is born. They also mentioned the fact that in the case that the mother is, they have a case where the mother was mentally challenged, and after taking the right medication and she's now in a right state, she was regretting. What we are saying that, considering that the mother is not in the right mental state, why then do we need to infringe her right at that particular time, panel? We are speaking at that particular time. We are not speaking about the future, right? We are addressing the situation as it is now, not looking into the future. Right. We are infringing her rights by involving a male whom we have no assurance that they will be there during the trimesters of pregnancy and also in the upkeep of the baby. There is also the issue of death rape, as my partner mentioned. There is no evidence. Usually, there is no evidence as to whether the other one was raped, all in the name of love. How then are we going to justify? How then, as the proposition, going to justify the issue whereby someone someone is a victim of death rape? Right. Death rape leads to the infringement of human rights. Women are human and they have rights, the right to choose. This deprivation of human rights, the burden falls mainly on the girl child. When we are saying on the girl child, the motion clearly states that both parents, it does not state the age. So we are looking from the childbearing age, maybe when we're looking at girls, we're saying the age from 12. What we are saying, therefore, as we are depriving that particular child, that young girl, the chance to learn, the chance to go to school, the chance to prove herself in society. Right. So the biggest problem with this debate is how will they then identify who the real father is? They just mentioned the fact that the father has to be there. The father is supposed to be there. The father is concerned. But how do you then identify who the real father is, considering the fact that DNA when someone is pregnant is very expensive and is also harmful to the unborn baby? This they have failed to prove in their speech. Thank you.
All right. We are done with that rebuttal. Team Affirmative, are you ready with your rebuttal?
Yes.
Now you're ready. Now is the right time. Okay, your clock starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, they have the audacity to come here and say that if we include men, if we promote equality, this would lead to the infringement of women's rights. Please understand something about our delegation. We are not for the infringement of women's rights, but what we are saying is that let's look to the future. The reason why we are introducing these things is because we want to fight for a better, healthier future, healthy in terms of sexual reproductive health, healthy in terms of mental health, ladies and gentlemen. That is why we are including these men. And by including them, we are not saying that they will take total responsibility even over the women's rights. No, we are saying that they will participate. We are promoting commitment, partnership in these situations, ladies and gentlemen. Now moving on, they came here and talked about date rape. Now this is a different situation. This is a different scenario. When it comes to rape, there is evidence that there was forced entrances. Therefore, this point is irrelevant to this debate session, ladies and gentlemen. Now moving on, we are also saying that they asked us a question: why is there need for a father to be there, or why is there need for somebody who participated in the act to be there when decision making in terms of abortion is made? Ladies and gentlemen, let us look at the circumstances around abortion. Post-abortal care. Now we are saying that post-abortal care should not be the sole responsibility of the woman. And moving on, we are saying that there is counseling, the issue of counseling as well, where we are saying that it is not only the women that go through the trauma of abortion, but even the men too get to go through the trauma of abortion. Hence, they also need counseling. Let us also look at another circumstance, consent, which is also our burden of proof. We are saying that is why both parents should consent, my noble audience. Now moving on, they also said that abortion is only done when there is trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a lie. People who are married actually abort for reasons that, for family planning purposes, that would have gone wrong. It is not only about trouble. These people can abort if they've realized that they can no longer afford to cater for another child. Therefore, that point was also irrelevant in this debate. They talked about absenteeism of fathers. Ladies and gentlemen, with the most immediate organizations that we have, including social welfare and child welfare, we are trying to push for a model whereby we can do follow-ups. If someone pledged commitment in the future, then we're going to do follow-ups. Is the child being taken care of? Even more, ladies and gentlemen, we are not all about keeping the unborn child, but letting the men participate in the decision-making around abortion. Now, moving on, we're also saying that when we look at the new law of consent, it states that if you stay together for a long time, that means you are now considered husband and wife, and therefore the issue of shared responsibility. Let us also look at gender-based violence. Women are now threatening men using this right, ladies and gentlemen. Hence, the need to put a delimitation model whereby we say that men should be available. With this, I rest my case.
All right, thank you. With 2 seconds to spare. Opposers, your closing remarks, are you ready? Your 2 minutes starts now. 2 minutes starts now.
Okay, second speaker, the first thing that I wanted to say is that 3/4 of your argument were based on new points, which by my courtesy I'll try and address. But then from first speaker, he was talking of husband, which is not the reality when it comes to the ground, right? So the assumption is that married people should be there to support people, but no, we are looking at the current statistics in Zimbabwe. Most people who are outing for abortion are the teenagers who for unwanted pregnancies. So therefore, it's mostly boyfriends. We're not saying that husbands and wives do not abort, but we're saying mostly it is those teenagers that are affected. And secondly, you did not propose any policy whatsoever, which makes it this very problematic. And also, you failed to give us the reason as to why a father in particular, not the word in particular, should be the one to be there. I'm not saying a father shouldn't be there. I'm saying give us the reason as to why the father in particular should be the one who is supposed to be there, right? And then we also didn't tell us why, you did not tell us how you are Satan for the father in the instance where he is not available. There is a case where you do not know who the father of the baby really is. Like you've slept 5 people and you're not sure who the father of the baby is. How are you going to ascertain that the father of the baby is brought forward and who he is? And also, you do not account for the cases of, actually, you talk about promoting equality and the right and the rights of the world. We get that. We are not against promoting equality. We're just saying, in as much as you are trying to promote equality, we should also look at the fact that this policy is also infringing, because in the event that the father of the child is not close enough, or in the event that I do not know who the father of the child is, it becomes problematic for me to have abortion, because you need him to consent, because that's what the law says. And now that he is not available, it then becomes problematic. So I'm saying, yes, it might be promoting partnership for those who are married, but it's also infringing for us young girls who would have had unwanted pregnancies. So that's where the problem is. And also, you have the unproven rate of all the cases. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Team Affirmative, are you ready with your closing?
Yes.
All right. Your 2 minutes start now.
First of all, ladies and gentlemen, They are saying that we did not propose a policy. Yet in their debate, they are all over infringement of this policy that they have said, infringement of this policy that they have said. So I don't know what they're debating to if we do not have a policy. And then second of all, ladies and gentlemen, they mentioned teenagers in their debate. And later on, said that there is no way to see that this is the actual father of the parent. We are here to encourage responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, and we are not saying that only the father should be there. We are saying they should go together and their father should be included when it comes to the consent of the abortion, ladies and gentlemen. And also, when it comes to the father, not being there, you have said that we have no way to trace that, and we also do not have a way to trace if the teenager is actually just trying to be irresponsible, or is she really someone who has experienced rape, ladies and gentlemen? And also, as we know that we need the father to be there as policymakers, policy pushers, who also push the law to find if it is the rapist to be available before abortion has been taken off. Hence, the push of the law to actually follow up on these rapists, ladies and gentlemen. And my partner proposed the issue of equality and inclusiveness according to the UN statements, which they failed to explain when they were asked, ladies and gentlemen. I do not know if they are actually disqualifying equality, as they do not have an account of the men's side, ladies and gentlemen. There are no other standing points as from our side when it comes to this issue, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you sure you've got like 10 seconds? 9.
No. You see, in the stadium of humanity, all we are saying is life itself, it demands accountability. And even in the quest of serenity, it needs no negative.
Okay, time up. I shouldn't have asked. I regret. Well done, nice comeback. All right, so we have come to the end of this particular stage, and after this, sadly, we do have to say goodbye to 2 more universities. And from then on, we come back with 4 who are then in the semi-final stage. Who will make it to the next round? Who do you want to see? Who has to say goodbye? Stay tuned and find out if you're right.
The teams that are proceeding to the next round are as follows: Midland State University, Chinoa University of Technology, the University of Zimbabwe, and Lupane State University. Congratulations to all the team and good luck in your next round.
All right, so we are finally at semi-final stage, and sadly we've had to say goodbye to the National University of Science and Technology and Manicaland State University. But the competition must go on. We must find out who our champion is for this year. And so I have 2 random students, random at this moment, representing their different universities. Congratulations on making it in. Well done. Well done, and I'm using you as an opportunity to shuffle my... All right, so they're going to help me pick which teams go up against who now in the semi-final stage. And as you can see, I'm thoroughly shaking it. Okay, all right, so we have 4 pieces of paper in there, no rigging. And the lady is going to pick 2, the gentleman is going to pick 2, but 1 at a time, all right? So pick. Don't look, why are you analyzing it? Close your eyes. No, I'm joking. All right, let's start with the young lady. Who is going up against who? First piece of paper. Our first, Lupane State University is going up against our current trophy holders, Midland State University. Oops, runaway paper. Okay, it's okay, I'll get it just now. And then, give me both of them. All right, so Lupane is going up against Midland State University, which means University of Zimbabwe is up against Chinoa University of Technology. Okay.
Welcome to the condomized desk, and we need to understand the background behind the Sasi debates and also the idea behind these exciting conversations that we're having. So Respect from Say What is here. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Nikki.
Would want to find out, this is your fourth edition, the fourth edition of the Sasi debates. And what is the main objective and what do you aim to achieve from these interesting conversations?
Okay, Nikki, with Sasi Debate competition, as you have said, that is the fourth edition. It started to run from 2018, and surely this is the fourth year while we have been doing this with students. It is a way of engaging university students, or in fact, I can say tertiary students, with the aim of using them as an instrument of distributing important information to their peers as well as other youths out there. As you can see, our competitions, usually we stream them live on social media platforms. As of late, most of the information that is being distributed around, which is relevant to youth, is usually disseminated through social media platforms. So it's relevant and important to us as we are able to reach out to young people through these social media platforms. As we know that these days they are no longer so aligned to the old model of media and press. What do we call it? Oh my God. Cut.
Hi guys, my name is Giselle. Hi guys, my name is Maya. Child abuse must come to a stop. If you have been abused, call the Say What call center number 577 if in case of abuse.